Hello and welcome to the tutorial on Power BI. In this session of the tutorial, let's understand how do we work with Power Queries. Let's start. As far as Power BI is concerned, one of the most powerful part of Power BI is Power Queries. You might wonder, where do you see Power Queries? Because in the introduction of Power BI, nothing was spoken about Power BI. But here is something that you should take a look at. Here, the edit queries drop down. So this gives you facility to edit queries as well as to change the data source settings. Clicking on the data source settings, you get to see all the data sources that are associated, and you can clear permission, you can edit permission, be it global or data sources that are very much specific to this file. Looking at the other option of edit queries, clicking on edit queries, you get a separate window getting opened in Power BI. This is the Power Query window. This is one of the most powerful part of Power BI. As I already said, this gives you almost every option to do whatever you want with your data. Now, let me import a data. So as you can see, now I am uploading my data. That is importing my data. As soon as my data gets imported, it starts appearing in the field section with the table name as well as the column name. Now I'm clicking on edit queries. As soon as I click on edit queries, I get to see detailed information about the records that are present in the table. As you can see from here, now it is showing by default 200 records because the file that I have uploaded has just 200 records. In the actual scenario, this will be 1000 rows. Going to the above ribbon, as you can see from here, in edit queries, you have so many of these options available. Here again, it presents you with an option to upload a new source, to connect to a recent source, to enter data on your own. So clicking on this, you get another pop-up open where you can enter the data that you want as you wish. Here again, you can change the table name. So once you click OK, that table starts appearing here as a new table. Now going back to this data, here you get an option to change your data source settings. There is an option to create parameters and manage them, which will be seen in a future video. Here again, there's an option to refresh your data. This will refresh the file, the query that is selected, while this will refresh all the queries that are present in the window. So if you can see here, this manage will help you with few other options like duplicate query and reference query. You can also delete the query from this manage. Advanced editor. Clicking on advanced editor, you get to see more of a query format of data. So here you will change the parameters and do whatever is the modifications that are very much specific to this query. And properties will give you the properties of the table which you are already seeing here, and here this gives you an option to check or uncheck if you want this query to be loaded when you open the report. Here this option will help you enable or disable the report refresh. That is, when you refresh this report, would you want this query to be refreshed or not? That is defined from here. This choose columns will give you option to choose the columns which you want to display, and go to column, as the name says, will help you navigate to the column of your interest. Now on clicking choose column, this gives me with a new pop-up where I can select or deselect the columns that I want to be included in my PBIX file. Remove columns, as the name says, is used for removing the columns. Keep rows and remove rows do the information that their name renders to us. Here you have the options to sort a column. Now I want this column, the general health column, to be sorted from A to Z. Now my general health column gets sorted. As you can see, the top rows are excellent. If you, following is fair, good, and so on. The split column will separate the elements of columns into multiple columns. This is more of a text to data split option in Excel. This group by, as the name says, will help to group the data. Here you have an option to change the data type of your column. You can also define if you want to use the first row of your Excel file as a header, or would you want to consider that also as the actual first row. This replace values will help you to replace the value. Suppose here I want my far information to be changed to bad. So if you can see here, my far has got changed to bad. Now I don't have a far record in my data set. Merge queries and append queries, as the name says, are used for merging and appending. Merge acts like when you have multiple queries, you can merge those queries into a single column. Clicking on merge query, you will have the default query selected here. Here, this gives you the other tables which are present for you to merge. Here you can define the kind of join that you want to be applied while merging the data. This is like adding columns of a second table to the first table. Here you can create that query in an existing query, or you can create that as a new query. Append rows is more like a union. If the columns are same, your append rows will add the rows of the second table to the rows of the first table. Here this also is applicable in the same query or as a new query. Going to the next option in the ribbon, it is the transform option. Here the group by option gets repeated. Use first row as header. It's again repeated. This gives you options to transpose your records, reverse your rows, count your rows, and data type selection option. Detect data type. When you don't know what the actual data type is, you can ask Power BI to detect the data type on its own. You can rename the columns, replace values, fill the columns up or down, pivot the columns, unpivot the columns, move the columns left to right or right to left, convert to list, and the split column is again repeated. Here it is much clearly. You can split it by delimiter or by the number of characters. Format. You can always change the format. How I want my general health column to be displayed as an uppercase value. As you can see here, it has changed. Merge columns will works the same way as the merge queries. Extract will help you extract from the existing column the different options that are provided here. Parse will help you to parse the query into an XML or a JSON file. Statistics gives you other advanced facilities, and so are the standard and scientific facilities. Trigonometry, rounding, and information are the different other options which are available, which you can explore on your own. There is an option to create date. This will help you on selection of a date column. It helps you to generate the other levels of the information on your own. The time, this also works the same way. When you give the local time, and you can generate the hour, minute, second, everything by using Power BI. This, as the name says, will help you to run R script. Structured column helps you to either expand, aggregate, or extract values. The third option in the ribbon is add column. Add column gives you various options to add a column. In the sense, you can add a column. From example, you can add a custom column. You can invoke a custom function. You can also add a conditional column. Suppose I want to say if my patient ID is 121628, it has to be the value should be 1. I can define the same in a conditional column. Clicking on conditional column, I get a new column open, which is like it is a custom column. I can rename the column. Now I want my patient ID 121628 to hold a value of 1. The rest of the columns can have 0. So, clicking on OK, new column gets created where the patient ID with 121628 holds the value of 1 while the other columns are having the value of 0. Index column, as the name says, is used to create a new column with serial number kind of. Now I'm just creating an index column that should start from 1. So now a new index column is created where the row numbers are getting displayed starting from 1. Duplicate column, as the name says, helps you to duplicate the data, and there are different other functions which are available as in case of transform. View bar gives you additional features like you can view the formula bar on top of your data. Similarly, there is also a way to display your data monospaced. Again, go to columns, will go to the column of your interest, and query dependencies will help you to understand the dependency for the queries of all the queries. Advanced editor, as I explained earlier, helps you with transforming your metadata to accept parameters, and will help you understand the DAX functions more using the guided learning, documentation, and various other facilities that are provided by Power BI. That's all in this part of the tutorial. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe for more videos.